everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about a game called Gacha Designer. I apologize for any background noise, that's my siblings. Also, please do not send hate or harass anyone mentioned in this video. Creating a game is very difficult, and it's something that I do not have the brain cells to do. And I'm just trying to give my opinion on certain aspects of it. So please do not send hate to the people involved in creating it. And with that being said, let's get back into the video. In this video, I'm going to be treating Gacha Designer like it's not a fan game and is in fact its own game, but I will be also drawing some comparisons to Gacha Club and the other Looney made gacha games. And that is just because I feel like this game is very obviously inspired by Looney's gacha games, and also because one of the creators, Beowulf, mentioned Looney's gacha games in their video. I have a bullet point list that I wrote down through my second watch through of their video, and I will be referencing that often. But I highly recommend that you go and watch their video first before you watch mine, just so you can get your own opinion of it. The link to their video will be in my description. Also, please keep in mind that every feature of their game that I'm going to mention in this video is subject to change, stated by the creators themselves. Now, what exactly is Gacha Designer? Gacha Designer is a character creation and storytelling game, mainly created by Beowulf, the graphic designer and the developer of Film Walls. The game is Android and iOS friendly and currently does not have a set release date. Beowulf has stated in their video that it will take at least 1 year to create the game, but I imagine it will take longer because video game making is hard, at least in my opinion. It takes a while to make a game, so I don't really see this game coming out anytime soon, but I do want to talk about what we know so far. In their video, Beowulf states that they plan to continue where Looney's Gacha games left off by adding community requested features to the game, such as custom poses and a community shop, which I will give my opinions on later in this video. They also state that they plan for their game to have a more user-friendly UI. I do not know if they were comparing it to Gacha Club or past versions of their game, or quite possibly Gacha Animator, which is another of Femlaw's games. Personally, whenever I have used Gacha Animator in the past, I did find that the user interface was sort of difficult for me to understand, so if they are comparing it to Gacha Animator, I am excited to see the improvements made to make it more user-friendly. Custom poses and backgrounds are another interesting feature that they plan on adding into their game. If this feature is added, I'm pretty sure that I and many other Gacha users will be able to get a lot of use out of it because it sounds very interesting. I don't know how complex it would be. Like, I don't know if you could like move the fingers individually. It's probably not that, but probably be something like Gacha Club where you can switch out the hands, and then you could probably like drag the limbs around to where you want them to be. I'm not very good at explaining. With the custom backgrounds though, I am wondering, like, will you be able to import your own like photos, and that's how you're gonna make custom backgrounds? Because I think that would be a much easier thing to do than using green screen and Gacha Club and then having to green screen background into a video. I feel like that would be incredible for some storytelling and some other types of gacha videos. I'm going to group the character creation parts of the game into one segment, just so this video is not 5 hours long. Personally, I'm aiming for around 20 minutes. PNG character exports. This one is pretty self-explanatory. Being able to export your character file like a PNG. I really like this idea. I think that it's very useful for like gacha edits and things like that. 3 base colors instead of just 2. This one is a bit confusing for me. I don't know if it's talking about hair or clothing or just in general, but I could live without it. It just confuses me. I really don't understand. I wish they would have gone more into detail with what this means. Gradients on limbs and clothes. I love this idea. I really hope that it gets to the final version of the game. Full body markings. I'm not entirely sure if this would be like one like big tattoo thing or a lot of separate little, body markings, but I think it's a pretty good idea. I really like it. On improved expressions, I'm not too sure what that's supposed to mean. I don't know if it means like face tracking or that sounds kind of stupid, but they said like VTuber expressions in their video, but I really don't know. I could live without it. An auto screenshot button in the scene, like story mode. I mean, I guess it would be more convenient for like if you had a computer and you were playing the game, but I don't know. I feel like screenshots work just fine. So I really don't think there's much use for this button other than PC players. Now we're going to move on to something I have a bit more to say on, and it is the community asset shop that they're planning on adding. This is the whole reason I am making this video. So in the Ellipsis video, they mentioned that the shop will be an important part of the game, but then I remembered that the creators said that there would be just the dress-up stuff, like no mini-games or anything. So it has me wondering, are microtransactions going to be a part of this game? Because in the gacha shop little animation like concept on YouTube on their channel, there's a currency and you have to use that currency to purchase things in the gacha shop. So I'm wondering if there's going to be microtransactions or ads of some sort in this game. I hope it's just like you watch this ad, you get so many coins, I hope it's like an ad thing. I hope it's not microtransactions, because I feel like I don't really know. I just feel weird about playing a dress-up game that has microtransactions in it. But I do like the concept of the shop, don't get me wrong. I like that the concept of being able to like create your own assets and have people like download them and download other people's assets. I think that's really, really freaking cool. But the only thing that has me like worried is the like paying like money to be able to do that. Like, I'm fine with watching a few ads, but I'm not too sure how I feel about paying for a game that's so heavily inspired off of another one. It just kind of makes me feel weird. It's not like it's bad for a certain game to have competition or anything like that. It's just this game is very obviously very heavy inspired off of Looney's Gacha games. And I don't really know how I feel about paying actual money to be able to play a certain way in that game. With that all being said, I'm going to end this video here. Please make sure to unsubscribe from my channel and dislike all of my videos. See you later.